Policy Network in London, a think tank that deals with environmental issues. Kendra Okonski, so obviously this part of Australia has had these wildfires in the past. Should there not be a really good automatic rapid response when these fires break out to help people?
Yes, I think that on this occasion there was a rapid response by government and other leaders to try and get people to move out of their homes, but actually their own policy of having people stay in their homes sort of contradicts that. So sometimes people didn't know what to do, they were confused, and in the end this horrible tragedy unfolded because people had misinformation. And so we need to looking forward, what kind of policy do they need to respond to this kind of natural catastrophe.
And so what should they have been done if there was this conflicting advice about staying in your homes, trying to fight the fires or try and flee the area? What should they or could they have done?
Well, I think we need to put it in a larger context. What has happened with fire policy and basically in the past the Aboriginal strategy was to remove the fuel that accumulates 1 ton per hectare per year on the wild lands and other lands around urban areas, and that strategy evolved into fire suppression, and now it seems like it's a do-nothing strategy or something like that. There's very little activity going on. So when you have urban areas being populated heavily with people, we need to have a more active approach to managing this. So that means a fire plan for each home, and even when many of these homes did have a fire plan, but they weren't able to act on it because the fire was so intense, it was throwing burning embers.
I was going to ask you that. I mean, could they have been warned earlier, sooner, that the fires were coming their way, or was it just the fact that they were moving so rapidly they couldn't escape them?
Quite a few of the fire experts were saying last week that that absolute right conditions were in place for this to happen, and they did their own best effort to try and inform people, but it didn't go anywhere. So what we need to do looking forward is government needs to protect human lives and human property, put those things first, and especially in urban areas. We can distinguish urban areas from natural wild areas so that we have an active fuel reduction policy in place. That's the case where I'm from Montana.
I was going to ask you that. Are there lessons to be learned from other regions, perhaps, that you've lived in yourself?
Absolutely, and we see all around that, you know, people want a natural environment and they want to live among that natural environment, but you can't have a purely natural environment when human lives and human property are at risk. So we need to do things like having fuel mechanically removed from forests, and fuel, in the case of Australia, prescribed burning seems to be what many of the experts say is needed and wasn't in place.
And of course the one element that we don't know about is how far arsonists did contribute to...
Which is truly tragic, and we can't underestimate that.
Okay, Kendra Okonski, thank you very much.